for that broadcast. And you know what? Just keep giving us calls here. We love taking them. It's 718-982-3060.
Nah, it was someone who wanted to hear you do an impersonation of me. I'm like, it happened already. He was like, "Aw, man." He was like, "I think you should do it." Do what? The impersonation. Of who? Of you. Ah, he did it already. Sorry.
Blackburn?
Huh?
Blackburn?
Nah.
Oh.
Do you want to hear the call?
Sure.
All right, hold on.
This should be fun. I love hearing strangers talk about my impersonations.
WSA.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
I called earlier today,
Yes.
and I think I'm still listening. I listen every Monday.
Yeah.
But
It's a great band.
I think Shane should do that impression.
You should do what?
Do that impression.
What impression?
Impression of you.
He just did it.
Oh, did he? Oh man, I missed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he actually did a pretty solid job, but it was more about when I broadcast basketball games and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's good at making fun of people. It's a strong suit.
Yeah. He apparently wants to be a comedian and not a sports anchor. It was a good job. All right, thank you for the call, though.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Who was that?
That was the friend Ilmi who called up and gave his starting lineup earlier for LaMarcus Aldridge.
All right,
Kevin
shout out to
Durant.
Ilmi.
Yep, and who's this other guy? Who's the other starting lineup? He had Durant, Aldridge, Paul George, I believe. Yeah.
Durant,
He had a
Aldridge,
great
Paul
team.
George?
Yeah, that's a great team right there. You gave yourself Westbrook, Durant, and Love, because you love yourself some Love.
I love.
And then our first caller gave us, I believe, Dwight Howard, Derrick Rose healthy, and Kobe Bryant healthy. He could dunk. He said that he's a good dunker.
He said Dwight Howard with that? Are you sure it was Dwight Howard?
No, actually, he said, I'm sorry.
I think it was
he
Dwight
said,
Howard.
He said Rose, Kobe, and, like, Westbrook, but then he never gave us a big man. Actually, he never gave us a big man. He just said the guy, he's a dunker. He said he could dunk. I don't know.
The dunker, right.
The dunker,
right.
He just said a dunker. I didn't really...
I think it was Howard, actually. He did say Howard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Howard could dunk. He's a great dunker.
Mm. Yeah. 8:46 p.m., you listen to Sports Beat. Next week, we're going to start my fantasy baseball talk. I break it all down for you because 4 weeks. You know, a lot of people have their draft the week before the season starts. Some people do it the week of the season starting because a lot of people don't like getting a player who gets injured. It gets people angry. You know, DiMaio, he's a seasoned veteran when it comes to fantasy, and the worst feeling ever is spending a high draft pick on a guy who gets injured. Man, oh man. Man, oh man.
For those drafting Rob Gronkowski and not knowing when he's coming back, we're talking fantasy football for that, or any player that you don't get an update until the last possible second before the season starts. I'm a day before kind of a guy. I like to draft right before the game.
Now, speaking of draft, what I wanted to touch on before, we're talking about Jadeveon Clowney, we're talking about Johnny Manziel. The NFL draft is around the corner as well. Like, when is the draft? Beginning of May? And April usually to do it?
It is mid-April. It's
mid-April?
14th, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. What I've seen, like, I'm just getting Twitter updates here and there about Teddy Bridgewater is not going to throw during the Combine. Johnny Manziel is not going to throw during the Combine. Why are these quarterbacks not looking to show off their arm? Because showing off your arm, that's what got Jamarcus Russell the top pick.
Right.
They were impressed that he could throw 60 yards from one knee.
Oh, yeah.
That's what got him the top pick. That was it. And these people, these players, it looks like they're scared. They don't want to show off their arm because if they show off their arm, they're going to lose draft stock, they're thinking. Meanwhile, if I'm an owner or general manager, I want the quarterback that's going to face every single challenge. He's going to go out there. He's not going to be afraid. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do the throw. I'll do it. You can measure me. I'll do my best. And here's my grade. Meanwhile, you have someone who's scared who's not going to do it. What confidence does he have in his arm? I think it's a red flag right there.
I think that everything you just said was perfect. You hit on everything the right way. If you're an owner, if you're a GM, and you're drafting the quarterback of your future in the top 5 picks, you want a guy who's going to go out there and show you what he's got. Now, nowadays, we all know what it's all about. It's all about the money. You want to secure your draft stock. And listen, these guys, and they're making millions, mind you, aren't making what they used to make going back 2 or 3 years ago. Sam Bradford was the last rookie quarterback to be drafted under the old law in the CBA agreement between the Players Association and the NFL that said a rookie could only get paid at a certain scale. Sam Bradford's deal was guaranteed $60 million when he signed as the first overall pick for the St. Louis Rams. Now, You're lucky if you're getting over $2 or $3 million a year as a quarterback. You're not getting more guaranteed money than around 10 to 15 million. So you got to be really careful when you're out there. Now they're trying to plan for their future and get the most money they can guaranteed out there because of this new rookie wage scale, which, like I said, tops off around maybe 15 to 20 million at the most. When you talk about someone like an Andrew Luck, but these guys aren't Andrew Luck. They're going to be top 5 picks because there are teams needy for quarterbacks right now. But if you don't have the greatest arm, like a Johnny Manziel doesn't, you're not going to throw. It's strategic. It's smart for their brand. But like you said, a GM might steer clear of that for someone who really wants a competitive guy who's going to go in there and face every challenge, like you just said, Chris. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Now, these are guys trying to conserve their draft stock, but at what cost does it make them look like they feel that they're slightly incompetent when it comes to throwing the football?
Now, you have a guy in Jadeveon Clowney who's facing every challenge, and he's putting up big numbers. Now, what happens if Clowney becomes a guy who does not make it in the NFL, who's not that great? He's got like good statistics. He had a great career in college. People say he has the build. He talks a lot, but Peter King, a very wise man, said that he doesn't he can't tell, and he doesn't sense the commitment to the game in Clowney. So, Peter King's a smart guy. He's been around for a while now at football, and I would listen to him. When you are a general manager, when you are an owner of an NFL team, it's unlike any single sport. You need someone that's going to show commitment all the time. You got to interview these players. You got to get to know. These are things that fans are kept in the dark. We don't know about these players, what they talk about in the interview. But I think one thing you got to talk about is a simple question like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you do?
You asking me?
Well, I'm not asking you, but I'm just like, imagine like you're a player, and I'm a general manager, and I'm asking you like, okay.
My fantasy team went for me. That's the first thing I do.
It'd be great if as fantasy owners we could talk to all these players.
Right.
Wouldn't it be like, all right, Pujols, how's your foot?
Right.
Is your foot good? Because I'm feeling I'm going to pick you,
right,
but I don't want to pick you. Your foot's not good.
I mean,
all right?
That's the dream, isn't it, for every fantasy
That'd
player
be great.
to be able to have that conversation?
Your foot's good? You sure? All right. It's not good? All right, you're going down my list of
Right.
100, okay?
Have a nice career, yeah.
Have a nice career. But the point is that if you have a guy like Clowney who's a red flag, where you have like a big analyst saying that this is not the guy to get, okay? He does not have the commitment to the game. Why risk it? Why risk the pick? Why do that when there's other guys out there for the Houston Texans? They say you need 2 pass rushers in this league. I mean, you got J.J. Watt in Houston. If you end up getting Clowney, you got 2. Well, what good is a freakish athlete who puts up great 440 time and bench press that doesn't have a commitment to the game? You got to look for the guy that when he wakes up in the morning, the first thing he does is he does 100 push-ups to get stronger, to get better. And he's studying tape. A guy like Peyton Manning. He's a student of the game. You want that kind of player with the first-round pick. I mean, do we have a pure first overall pick in this draft? I'm not so sure we have that.
Yeah, I don't think we have the first overall consistent, legitimate, no hands, no questions asked. We're not going to have that in this draft. It's been rotating. It feels like every other day you have Manziel.
And that's never good when if it's rotating that much. That just shows that these guys, no one's standing out.
Right, no one's standing out. You have Clowney one day, you got Manziel the next day, Bridgewater one day, Bortles the next day, maybe Evans the next day after that. I mean, it keeps rotating. Back to what Peter King said, one of the doubters actually, Jadeveon Clowney, mental commitment, the mental makeup. How much is he going to give to this team? How much is he going to give in practice? Because Clowney has a slight reputation for being a little bit of a slacker.
Yeah.
And he's got those, physical feats that
I remember in the beginning of the season, before the college season started, there was an article on Clowney and how he started off as a guy that was not too
he's
into it.
Not great in the locker room, not a great overall team player, and not 100% giving effort. And I mentioned that actually in one of our previous shows that he said himself, I didn't go 100% this year. I wanted to get drafted in the NFL. I didn't give it all I had prior the year before when I played my heart out. So this is a guy who could turn it on and off. I'm not sure you want that, like you said, but do you pass up on this freak of nature eliminating every combine, threat there is right now? It's tough. If you need a quarterback, you probably got to get a quarterback. These guys are good quarterbacks, above average NFL caliber rookie quarterbacks right now. But you want the mental makeup. If you could find a guy who's dedicated, who won't stop fighting, who says he's going to throw, who says he's going to run, says he's going to lift, says he's going to do all this stuff at the combine, someone like a Russell Wilson for the Seattle Seahawks, who they took in the second, third round. I mean, he wasn't drafted high at all. Comes in as a third quarterback and blows everyone away with his work ethic and his ability to get better. So,
hey, look, if Johnny Manziel decided to throw and he put up a decent number, I would have made him my first overall pick because I'm starting to believe that Manziel is committed to the game. Because when I heard that he denied 4 endorsements before even signing an NFL contract, he said he denied 4 endorsements because he's got to prove a point. He's focused. He wants to be in the NFL. He's not in it for the money. The whole cash thing, when he puts his thumbs to his index and his middle finger, he rolls around in a circle saying that, oh, money.
Right.
It's not what it's about. He's just saying getting to the touchdown, boom.
Right.
Points, boom. That's all you need. It's all about, he wants to win. He's a good football player. I saw a red flag where he didn't throw, and it's troublesome.
Don't forget, Chris, that it's been happening recently, like I just said, a lot of quarterbacks don't want to hurt their stock, and they won't throw at the combine because of so many, things that they can't control in the moment with the field and the scouts.
I was very surprised Bridgewater didn't throw that.
They will be throwing on their pro days, though. Don't forget,
Yeah,
their hometown and their confines where they're comfortable, they're going to be throwing there. You're going to get a look at their arms. But, yeah, going on the big stage right there in front of everyone, NFL Network, watching the whole thing go on the TV live, they don't want to take that chance of making a mistake. Maybe the wind gusts the wrong way. Maybe the receiver's not catching the passes that look like they're right on the money. Maybe it doesn't have good